In the dark and secretive heart of World War II, when every whisper could alter the fate of nations, British intelligence conceived one of the most daring and bizarre deceptions in the history of warfare, Operation Mincemeat. It was 1943, and the Allies had triumphed in North Africa. Their next step was clear: invade southern Europe and strike at the soft underbelly of the Axis powers. But everyone, including the Germans, knew that the logical invasion point was Sicily. The problem was obvious. If Hitler expected Sicily, the beaches would be waiting with guns ready. To win, the Allies needed to convince him that they were going somewhere else entirely. Deep inside London's Naval Intelligence Division, two brilliant officers, Ewan Montagu and Charles Cholmondeley, crafted a plan so audacious that it bordered on madness. Their idea was simple, yet grotesque: to use a dead man as a messenger of lies. They would find a corpse, dress it as a British officer, plant false documents on it, and let it wash ashore in enemy territory, where it would accidentally fall into German hands. It would be a deception that could only work if every single detail felt real. The first challenge was to find the right body. After weeks of searching, they discovered an unfortunate Welshman named Glyndwr Michael, who had died in London under tragic circumstances. In death, he would become Major William Martin of the Royal Marines, a man who never truly existed. The British intelligence team built him a life and a love. In his pockets, they placed theater ticket stubs, bus receipts, a bill from a tailor, a keychain, and even a photograph of a fiancée named Pam. There were love letters written in a woman's hand, personal notes, and a few faded photographs, every tiny detail designed to make the deception human, believable, and heartbreakingly authentic. Then came the most crucial piece: the forged documents. Inside a leather briefcase chained to his wrist was a letter between two senior officers discussing Allied plans to invade Greece and Sardinia, while hinting that Sicily was only a diversion. It was a brilliant lie, one Hitler was meant to believe. On the morning of April 30th, 1943, under the cloak of secrecy, a British submarine, HMS Seraph, surfaced off the coast of Huelva, Spain. Wrapped carefully in a life jacket, the body of Major William Martin was released into the cold waves. As the crew watched silently, they knew they were sending a corpse to fight a battle of deception far more dangerous than any fought with guns. A few days later, Spanish fishermen found the body, and, as expected, local authorities reported it to the British consulate. But behind the scenes, the Germans were already moving. Spanish intelligence, known for its quiet cooperation with the Nazi Abwehr, secretly allowed German agents to photograph and copy every document found on the corpse. Within days, the forgeries were on their way to Berlin. German intelligence officers studied them closely, convinced of their authenticity. The information was passed directly to Adolf Hitler, who believed it without question. Orders were issued to move German divisions and aircraft away from Sicily, to fortify Greece and Sardinia instead. The trap had worked. 2 months later, on July 9, 1943, the Allies launched Operation Husky, the real invasion of Sicily. German defenses were thin, unprepared, and scattered. As British and American forces stormed the beaches, they met far less resistance than anticipated. The deception had succeeded beyond anyone's imagination. A single dead man had helped save tens of thousands of living soldiers. Hitler had been fooled, and the course of the war in Europe had shifted. The victory in Sicily paved a way for the Allied invasion of Italy and eventually the downfall of Mussolini's regime. For years, Operation Mincemeat remained classified, buried in the shadows of wartime secrecy. The man buried in a Spanish grave under the name Major William Martin became a legend known only to those in British intelligence. It wasn't until the 1950s that the truth emerged, when Ewan Montagu published The Man Who Never Was, revealing the astonishing story to the world. Glyndwr Michael, the unknown man who had died alone, became immortal, remembered as the man who fooled Hitler. His grave in Huelva still bears the name of his invented identity, and visitors leave flowers to honor the ghost soldier who changed the war. Operation Mincemeat remains one one of the most ingenious acts of strategic deception in military history. It was proof that wars are not only won by weapons or soldiers, but by imagination, intelligence, and the courage to risk everything on a single, well-crafted lie. In an age of chaos and destruction, one fabricated life saved thousands of real ones. This was not just an operation, it was a story of deception, sacrifice, and extraordinary ingenuity. Operation Mincemeat, the lie that won the war.